Good morning, March 31st, 2016. Petra here, handing you your DGI brief. Here are my top 5 stories from around the globe, starting with Libya. Members of the UN-brokered unity government arrived in Tripoli yesterday to replace the 2 self-declared governments in Libya. The Prime Minister-designate promised to work on a nationwide ceasefire. He is expected to seek outside help to train a new Libyan army and to launch airstrikes against ISIS in Libya. The world. Scientists say that sea levels will rise more rapidly than expected due to collapsing ice sheets in Antarctica. If carbon emissions are not cut, the sea levels will rise by 2 meters by 2100, not by 1 as previously thought. That's double. Cities in the US, China, Vietnam, and Bangladesh are most at risk. Listen, scientists say that it is not too late if we really work on curbing carbon emissions. Please. Speaking of, Mexico. In order to fight air pollution, Mexico City orders all cars to stay off the road 1 day a week and 1 Saturday a month. This is Mexico's worst air pollution crisis in over a decade. Colombia. The Colombian government began formal peace talks with the National Liberation Army, Colombia's second largest guerrilla group. The government is already working out a peace agreement with the first large group, the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, to end more than 50 years of conflict. Better late than never. Qatar. Amnesty International issued a damning report that shows systemic abuses of migrant workers on stadiums that will host the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. In the last 5 years, the Qatari government has made changes to their labor laws and attempted to set minimum labor standards, but the report shows just how little has been implemented. Migrant workers report paying exorbitant recruitment fees. Once in the country, they are forced to work and live in appalling conditions. Their wages are withheld and their passports confiscated, all of which are prohibited under the Qatari labor laws. There are currently 4,000 laborers working directly on the World Cup stadiums, and this number is expected to rise to 36,000 in the next 2 years. The report is therefore very critical of FIFA, the international football body, for not pressing the Qatari government to do more meaningful solutions. So what are these solutions? They are so self-evident. Develop human rights-based mechanisms and frameworks that enforce compliance. Immediately terminate all contracts with violators and bring them to justice. There must be willingness to do this, of course. Above all, set up mechanisms where migrant workers can report abuses without the fear of reprisal. Foreign workers make up more than 90% of Qatari's population of 2.1 million. Amnesty International rightfully points out that if the abuses on such a flagship project as the World Cup do not merit actions, then what about the workers on projects that don't attract this kind of international attention? What are your thoughts on this? Please let me know in the comments below. And that concludes my top 5. Now, let's get out there and make it a good day. And remember, if you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.